Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of Rising Lights podcast. The one that, brings you people who are rising stars in content creation, talks all about content creation in general, and obviously, just talks about things within Twitch news, YouTube news, that kind of thing. As per usual, I am your host, Intrepidus, or Trep, as most people call me. And joining me, as always, is my co-host, Enrage Kitsune, or Kit. You want to say hello, Kit?
Hi, folks. Welcome to another episode.
So yeah, we don't have a guest again this week. That's basically on me, because one, as I told Kit earlier today, I'd completely forgotten that today was Rising Lights Day. Funnily enough, right, I didn't tell you the reason that I remembered, Kit.
Oh.
The reason that I remembered was my fiance said to me, "Oh, are you doing your thing tonight? Because don't you do it every 2 weeks?" So my fiance has a better grasp of our schedule with the podcast than I do. But yeah, so we'll leave that as it is, and we'll move on. As per usual, the song we came into today was a part of the planned song. As you can see, the guys on here right now on the screen. The song we actually came into was A Place Called Flying, which is the title of this EP here, which is on their YouTube, part of the planned topic, if you want to go and check it out. Alternatively, it is also on their Spotify, which you can find on !POTP. There is a link there to their full discography on Spotify, plus a clip from when we had Rafe, or Cody here, the guy in the middle, on the podcast. Season 1, we had him on episode 4. He's a good friend of ours. I do want to get him on again at some point if timing allows. But, he's a busy guy, obviously, between streaming himself and doing all the things with the band and working as well. So if you do want to go and show Cody some love, there's !Cody, which is there, right there. The link there to his Twitch channel, as well as his ats on Twitter if you want to go and check them out, as well as the band's at as well. So we always come into one of their songs, because part of the question we asked in that clip was what's part of the planned stance on using their music. Like, do they have a problem with it? Do they like the fact that DMCA means that streamers and content creators can't use their music without their say so? Or would they just let people use it? And they basically said, yeah, we'll let people use it. In fact, we enjoy seeing what people come up with. So there you go. If you are looking for some music to play on your stream, then be sure to give their stuff a listen and decide whether you want to show it. Or use it in, a montage or whatever. So, that being said, let's get into the first topic, which I've got as the Kali Linux thing. I have no idea about this. I read a quick I skim read it earlier when I clicked your thingy link, your notes link.
You looked at the getting all the tabs open and stuff. So Kali Linux is one of many distributions of Linux. So you sort of basically have your kernel, and you have a lot of extra UI and programs that are sort of bundled together to give you a particular flavor. And this one is one that is commonly used for penetration testing.
Do I want to ask about any more of that? Penetration?
It's digital penetration testing, so it's things like, have you got ports open that you don't need to have open? It's security stuff.
Okay. As I say, you've known me long enough by now. You knew my mind was going to go there as soon as you said that word.
I know. Many of the audiences will have as well. they're doing is the team behind the creation and bundling of this distribution,
Right.
of security, will be live streaming a course that they offer just on their Twitch channel.
Okay.
And it won't have everything you need to do it because they're like labs and stuff that you won't be able to have unless you go through their platform and pay to take the course and stuff.
Yeah.
But the main lecture type content will just...
So essentially, you'll be able to pay for their course after watching this and like breeze through it essentially.
Yeah, because you will have already seen the lectures. And also, I think if people watch it and kind of see, you know, they could kind of see that on the security, on online security penetration testing and hacking in general as a community isn't always as exciting as it's made out to be. But then you can find interest in what is actually done to test things. And like the more people that you've got on either side of the fence really is good, because if more eyes you've got looking, poking around at things, the more chance you're likely that someone's going to find a bug, and then someone will find a way to fix the bug, and we're all better off.
Yeah, we're all like online safe, basically.
Yeah.
Not getting hacked. I get it. That's cool. So
the other thing was just in general, less specific to this, was just educational content like this on Twitch, just available for you to see.
I'm gonna say it again.
Go on.
I keep saying Twitch and YouTube companies, more and more of them are just gonna fucking move to it as a delivery system. Point proven. We had fucking sports we were talking about like 2 weeks ago, right? Partnering with streamers to fucking show off traditional sports. Because they're realizing now that Twitch and YouTube are such big fucking platforms that they can't afford to miss out on. Wow. And now we've got fucking educational shit. Like, bruh, come on. One thing I will say is Twitch needs to buck up its fucking ideas with regards to, you know, some things that, like, gaming streamers at least have been asking for since the inception of the fucking platform. But, hey-ho. Things that Twitch needs to buck their ideas on, we might as well go on to the next one, which is T-Pain.
Okay.
Actually talking about something good that Twitch does. So, apparently, he was on Steve-O's Wild Ride podcast and revealed that he actually makes more from playing video games than
his music in the last
making his music.
Yeah.
To be honest, though, I haven't really heard much from him in the last 4 years musically.
Exactly. Not to say he hasn't been working on stuff the past 4 years, but like people haven't really noticed. So obviously, it's not. He's not really comparing the
fucking
career to
sorry,
Twitch.
sorry to interject, but holy fuck, does Steve-O look old? In the thumbnail for that video, holy shit! I remember how young he used to look in Jackass, man, when I was a kid. Fuck, dude, he's what, like 50 now?
Something like that, yeah.
But yeah, like, I mean, if he was top of the charts like he used to be back in the day, would he be making more money? Probably. Are most of the people that are watching him play video games like fans of his music prior to him actually like starting a Twitch channel? Probably. Like, if I was just to suddenly blow up to his size, would I be making more money than him? No. You know what I mean? Like, it's circumstance, and I think the fact that he's going, oh, I make more money from playing video games than my music, like, kind of, whilst yes, he's got an interest in the video game space and he's a gamer, you know, nice, brilliant, awesome. He actually runs like a whole thing on Twitch as well, like Nappy Boy Gaming it's called, if I remember correctly. And it's like, and that's the name of his I think that's the name of his Twitch channel and his like team, stream team, which Big Cheese Kit or whatever, Big Kit Cheese or whatever his name is, that used to like play a lot of Destiny. He's friends with a couple of people that I follow through Destiny, like, and Apex, like Anubis and Grim Cheese, a couple of those guys. Like he's played with them a few times. Like he's part of it, and they actually had T-Pain was doing a something on stage, like, and Cheese actually went on stage with him because like they're that close friends because of the whole like gaming streaming thing, right? Which is amazing for one. Like, can you imagine like getting to get up on stage with somebody you've looked up to and idolized because of their music? Like, I could only imagine trying to, like, getting up on stage with someone like, say, Eminem, like, because that's not exactly the same, but he and I have had very similar stories in like upbringing. Do you know what I mean? So mine wasn't as bad as his when he talks about it in his songs, taking drugs, his mum being on drugs, that kind of thing. Like, so it wasn't that bad, but in a sense of, and I had my stepdad there, whereas his stepdad was a dickhead. But in the sense of both of us were basically just left with our mum and haven't seen our dad since we were born, like that kind of thing. So getting to meet someone like that and fucking be on stage with him would be amazing, but I don't think that would ever happen for me. So big up, like, fucking T-Pain to doing that with Cheese, like, amazing. But again, like, I think it is circumstance. You'll hear about a lot of people. Logic, he quit like rapping basically and went to being a Twitch streamer and had massive amount of views. Why? Because you did something that was in the public eye beforehand, guy. Like, it's not just as easy as you can turn on the stream and it's gone. And I think the more people realize that, the better. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. There is a lot of hard work that goes into this shit. Now, I'm not discrediting them saying they didn't work hard in the music to get where they were to then transition over to Twitch so they could play video games for a living. Hell no. Fucking more power to them. Good shit. Like, keep doing what you're doing. As long as people are entertained, who gives a fuck? Like, get your bag. You know what I mean? But at the same time, don't delude yourself in the sense of, oh, T-Pain just switched from music to Twitch and is now making a bag. Like, that's not just going to happen for anybody. Logic did the same. Oh, no, that is not going to do that's just not going to happen for everybody. It takes hard work and determination, just like they had in their music careers before they switched over.
And like I said before, even if you say that like a solid 70% of this regular viewership and subscriber count and stuff, all that, is people who were previously fans of his music and have followed him into the platform. One, great, there's people on the platform that might not have been otherwise.
Yeah.
Two, they wouldn't stick around if he wasn't doing something right.
Exactly.
He wasn't being entertaining.
Especially if they're people that aren't normally on the platform anyway. Like, if they're people that aren't really interested in Twitch as a platform, generally. Like you say, they wouldn't stick around if he wasn't doing something right. And then if he's doing something right, and then he's like, let's say, use Big Cheese as an example again, and then T-Pain raids Cheese, then obviously Cheese does something right. Then he raids somebody, like Anubis, for argument's sake, and then Anubis raids somebody I don't even know who, Amaze, like, because we're going to talk about Amaze later on. Like, then, the wealth just gets shared. Those people who might not have been on the platform before see a bunch of people that create very fucking good content and are like, you know what, this is a great platform. And then maybe they spread out from not only watching T-Pain or Cheese or whoever, like, maybe they spread out and watch a whole bunch of people. Maybe they play play a game that like say T-Pain hasn't played Apex for argument's sake, just using it as an example because obviously I am very into Apex. Let's say he hasn't played Apex, but let's say he raids Cheese, who then raids Anubis, and Anubis is playing Apex. And this person who is in T-Pain's chat has never been on Twitch before and was like, oh, do you know what? Let me hang out with T-Pain because I loved his music. And then he raids Cheese. It's like, oh, let me hang out with this guy because obviously he's cool if T-Pain's recommending him. And then a couple of hours go by, realizes Cheese is cool. It's like, oh, do you know what? Whoever he raids, I'm going to hang out with them for a bit. And let's say they like Apex, then they find fucking Anubis because Cheese raids Anubis. And they're like, oh shit, Apex is on this platform? Let me go and check out. Like, maybe they don't hang around with Anubis. God knows why they wouldn't, because that guy's voice is fucking god tier. But anyway, like, maybe they go, oh, I could click Apex down here at the bottom, and I can go and find other people within that are playing Apex that I can watch. And it's a game I enjoy. And then maybe I'll get to play with these people. And then there's friendships and shit that, like, the whole world of Twitch as a platform then opens up for them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, either way, like, he's doing something good, like you said.
The entry point was from outside the platform. And he was just like, I don't know, it's very much with that. Hello, welcome in.
Welcome in, and thank you for the follow. To be honest, I was waiting for you to talk because I didn't want to thank you if you was a bot. My bad. So for anybody who's listening on the podcast platforms or watch on YouTube, 123 Paper Helmet, thank you very much for the follow. There you go. But yeah, they said in my chat, it was very much for me, but with art and game development. So obviously they joined Twitch watching art and game development and has now like opened up to watching other things. So very much appreciate you for coming on by. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask, and once one of us notices, we'll try and answer it.
Right. Diablo Immortal. I don't know if anyone who's listening has played it or tried to play it, but it's kind of well known among the community for not being particularly easy to play without buying things. And sometimes, even if you do buy things, you don't necessarily get what you need. So this guy, Quinn69, spent 10,000 of New Zealand's dollars on the game and didn't get a single legendary item. That's just bad luck, that. Well, you'd think, especially with having these kind of crates and stuff, you would have some kind of bad luck protection. Trap, I can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear me. Actually, it doesn't sound like anyone can hear you at the moment. You might. Okay. Sure.
Hello. There we go. I'm back on stream. Am I back in Discord? No.
There we go.
Hello?
Are you back
Am
in
I
Discord
back?
now? No.
I am not. Oh, there we
you
go.
You are now.
Now I can't hear you.
You can't
Why
hear me.
can't I hear you? Try this again. There we go. I can hear you now.
Wonderful. There we go. Everything's working again.
Thank God for that. I literally just turned it off and back on again. Literally disconnected my mic and reconnected it. By the looks of it, though, I might have had fucking a bitrate issue. I don't know. Your paper helmet, you make pixel art on Twitch and make cardboard props for TikTok. You like Clash, Quake, Doom, and Unreal Tournament, Shovel Knight, and you plan to be a VTuber one day. Well, luckily for you, I mean, YouTube and the podcast platforms aren't going to see this, but I'm going to shout out a good friend of mine who is a VTuber. If I can remember how to put the blah, blah, blah. Trying to think. There we go. I can do it.
This could be any one of about 6, I think I've got in my head.
No, I want to make sure I copy its name perfectly.
Yeah. It's got the right, profile. Are you going to draw your own avatar, or are you going to have someone commission it?
I can't remember whether the fucking thingy in it though. There might be an underscore in between the Elder and the Cthulhu, but he's a. Yep, there you go. I was right. Peace. Cool. Yep, there you go. So, Carl has been a friend of mine for like 15 years. Came out as Eldritch, pronouns being it, and went with the VTuber route because, you know, more comfortable and stuff like that. So, and I can show the real Eldritch within. I actually got a sneak peek at the new model that's coming, so there you go. So if there's some people, like, if you're looking for VTubers to watch, there's one, and I know Carl follows a whole bunch of them. So she, they, they. Okay, try and remember. If I do say, by the way, if I do say dude, I do not mean, or man or something like that. I don't mean that as being offensive. It's just part of my vocabulary. We've had this discussion how many times now, Kit?
I've lost count now. We have this conversation a lot. We do have at least she, they so far, because we do run the pronouns extension.
Yeah.
It's always a good idea. I'm glad that's a thing.
Yeah, I don't have it on my OBS chat though, so I need to work out how to get that on there. But
yeah, that's the annoying thing, is that it doesn't, because it's an extension, it doesn't really work.
Yeah.
Some things in OBS.
But yeah, like I was saying to what I was trying to respond before, you know, my mic just went, no, you're not talking, fuck you. Was I actually saw Cody playing Immortal the other day, and I said to him in his chat, I was like, good luck with your 110 grand investment, or 10 years to actually fully finish the game. because that's what I'd heard, like read in an article. It takes. Like he goes. To be honest, I'm just playing it for fun. I was like, good.
Yeah.
Because if you're actually trying to like get max level and stuff, you'll be here a while. But considering this is an ad right here, the next, topic is this, I guess we better just move on to it, huh? But yeah, long story short, Diablo Immortal, if you've got money to sink, like you've got money to burn, for one, what are you doing? Because I need money. I need a new PC. Let me know what you're doing so that I can, do it. But if you are looking for a game to just sink endless amounts of money in and not get what you want, Diablo Immortal seems to be your money pit, if you will. But yeah, so Psych Uno, or Psych, as he's known in NoPixel GTA RP. One of the best hackers in NoPixel. Has switched over to YouTube, and as you can see from here, he has signed an exclusivity deal with YouTube, and it's already turning out to be a success. He hasn't lost viewers after changing the platform, which is often a risk of many streamers face. He probably made a bunch of fucking videos regarding like stuff he's done in the past though that allowed him to have those people around. And yeah, as you can see here from the stats, pretty much universal across the board. In fact, his average viewers has gone up, and his peak viewers. So,
and the thing with streaming on YouTube is that you're already on a VOD platform with pretty good discoverability compared to VODs and stuff on Twitch, because you have to find
the live content doesn't have great discoverability unless people are already following you, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's no directories and shit
with him. And then he's got anyone who's happening across the videos that are already there.
Yeah, exactly. But here it says like YouTube Gaming signed exclusivity deals before, but resulted in a similar drop in average viewership. Talking about Overwatch League, Call of Duty League, because obviously Activision and Blizzard are the same. Like Entity also switched to YouTube as well, but I think they're now streaming elsewhere as well. I don't think it's just exclusive to YouTube, but they also like cut down the matches to where after each game, so like let's say you have Optic Texas versus Atlanta FaZe, and then next you have Toronto Ultra versus Los Angeles Thieves. If you go to the Call of Duty League YouTube channel after the fact of those two matches, they will be like individual VODs. It won't be one long VOD, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So you can actually if you just want to watch that particular match, you can go and watch that particular match. So I think that's one advantage that YouTube has. Obviously, you can do that in the video editor on YouTube, on Twitch, to export it to YouTube, and I have done that with a couple of the games that I've put up on YouTube from Apex, and I keep saying I'm going to do more YouTube stuff, but I don't feel like a bunch of the stuff that I'll ever like play. So like I play a game and then I do what I think is fairly well in it, and like maybe in that game I have like a 1v3 situation or something. I don't feel like if I put that up on YouTube that people will be, oh yeah, that was sick, you know what I mean, and want to subscribe and stuff. And I feel like that's what most people are after when it comes to gameplay stuff like that. If you just put out like a this was a great game type content, but
Yeah.
so I think I lack the confidence in that. But
Yeah, so I suppose the other thing as well is sort of being confident in your sort of not quite peak moments, but like good plays to go. Oh yeah, people like that.
well, I put up a short, right? Remember the short I put up of me hitting on two people in a public game of when the new Olympus came out on Apex. And then I followed it with a video that was titled "My First Win on the new Olympus" or something. It was like 3 months ago. Anyway, like I had people commenting on that short saying, "Oh, this wasn't that great," and all this. It's like, bruh, did you see how much health I had? Like I shat on two people. I destroyed them. Like I don't care what you think as oh this was god tier or not. Like for me that was a good play and I'm proud of it. I'm putting it out there for people to watch. If people don't think it's cool, you can move along. You think it's cool and you want to boost my ego a little, so maybe I've put myself in situations where I could get more plays like that or fuck myself over, then you know you can like the video, comment, oh this was sick, or something like that, like whatever you feel see fit. You know what I mean? I just feel like there's too many people go around now and try and shit on other people's parades. You know, like you don't turn around and say, "Oh well, I don't like this, so I'm just going to move along." They turn around and say, "Oh, I don't like this, so I've got to let this person know." And like, there's even some, you know, the jealous, fucking toxic pieces of shit that are like, "Oh, I don't like this, and I wish I had the tools at my disposal to upload something like this, but better, because I'm better." So instead of actually, you know, making moves to get myself in that position, I'm just gonna talk shit to this person and make them feel shit because I feel shit because I can't do it. Which to me just makes you a, like I said, piece of shit. Like at the end of the day, that's my opinion on it. I think, and that's the whole, you know, thing with this podcast, is we wanted to start it to build people up, show them that, you know, there are people out there that do enjoy their content, even if they get, you know, a couple of shitty comments or a couple shitty people come into their chat if there's just the streamer. There are people out there that will support them anyway. Like, they don't need to be you know, they need to be fucking Shiv levels of Apex. They don't need to be like Imperial Howl level of Apex. They don't need to be like Gathalion or Glad in Destiny, like, or, you know, pro Call of Duty players. Like, there are people who will watch for the sake of, one, you've got a smaller community so they can actually talk to you, and two, they think that you're a chill person or whatever. So there you go.
Yeah. And on the topic of communities and stuff, our next tab is Twitch. So in our last episode, 2 weeks ago, we talked about the feature that Twitch were going to add, where you could manage founders badges. So if you had, let's say, the first 10 people, for example, to subscribe to you, never came back since, you would probably rather have founders badges in people that are actually part of the community.
Yep.
And from that side of the thing made sense. I don't think the way they implemented it was the way...
I read through this as well, and it really does sound like they just implement it to where you turn around and went, okay, I don't want this person to have it, and so it then re-rolled it and went, oh, okay, well, person number 11 then gets the badge. And if person number 11 isn't there, you can go, oh, well, they don't come around either. But they still got a notification saying that they got the founder's badge. So they'd go up here, click their fucking, you know, like little notification thing. And they could come to your channel. And then it's like, oh, look, you took the founder's badge away when I'm still around. Like, do you know what I mean? Even if they hadn't been around like 6 months to a year beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Which it should just be like, okay, well, founder's badge. Hell, don't even allow us to do this. If this is the system, if this is how you're going to implement the system, don't allow us to do this. Give us another form of badge that goes in place of the founder's badge that we can give people kind of like a VIP. You know what I mean? So they have the option then to use this other badge that we gift out. So, like, let's say I give you one, even though I think you've got a founder's badge as well.
Yeah.
And then, let's say you have a choice then between this third badge essentially, or the which would essentially be a VIP, but it's only active when you are, you know, subscribed. And maybe give a bonus or something like extra channel points gained or something. Like, I'm not familiar with Twitch's backend in like a coding sense, but it can't be that hard for us to be allowed to nominate people for like a subscriber badge, kind of like VIP. Do you know what I mean? Or even if it's you give out VIP and they get an option to use this badge instead of their sub badge, like, because then VIP would actually mean something other than just being, you know, a pink diamond and showing somebody that you appreciate their support. I've got VIP in fucking what, 4 or 5 different channels of people that I'm very good friends with.
Yeah.
Pretty much the channels that I spend a lot of time in to hang out with and talk to them and etc. If I don't have VIP, I'm a fucking mod. So there's a few channels, one maybe under 5, where I will hang out with them and chill, you know, talk to them, blah blah blah. But I'm not like a VIP. I'm not a mod or anything like that. Like, I'm just plain Jane. Like, I walked into the chat just now. One of them comes to mind as like the first guy that was talking to me earlier in my chat when I was live for my actual stream, the only JD, or Adam. Fucking chill as fuck dude. I met him through Civics. I go into his chat, I hang out with him all the time, and I'm not a mod or anything in there. I'm just, you know, chat.
Yeah.
So give us some kind of like control, even if it's not the actual founder's badge. Just give us another badge that we can control.
Yeah. Just
So,
even if it's just like similar to VIP, but it's like a tweak on the sub emote slot.
yeah.
Not emote, badge slot.
Exactly.
Hell,
Even if it,
even better for me. I like badges. Lots of badges. All the badges.
oh mate, just type in my chat so that anybody who's here live can see how many fucking badges you've got.
Well, they'll only see all of them if they have the third-party tools. But
yeah. See, because I've not got my fucking
but
extensions and stuff. I only see 4 of them.
Yeah.
Which is the founder, the FFS, and the Bits leader, and then obviously mod. But anyway, that being said, the title of this particular episode of the podcast is "The Event Season is Upon Us." like starting yesterday with GCX and E3 would have been this weekend as well, right? If it wasn't cancelled.
Yes.
So with that being said, let's go to the next thing, which is E3 alternatives, conference schedule, and how you can watch it.
So some of these have already passed, obviously, things up to today. But we have today, day of recording, we had Guerrilla Collective, Wholesale Games Direct, and Future Games Show. I always like the Future Games Show. I might have to go back and watch that.
Yeah.
Because that will have passed. But tomorrow, or the 12th on the day of recording, is the Xbox stuff. And the Future Gaming Show.
I've been considering selling my Xbox.
Have you? I've recently upgraded to the next gen. On all access, obviously.
Yeah. I want to like upgrade my PC, so I'm like, do I sell it for like 200 quid and then I can get a processor or something? But yeah, so you've got all these going on with regards to what would normally be E3, even Netflix and shit involved. So if you want to go and check those out, sure there'll be VODs of the shows, or at least trailers and shit that are updated by companies. So
well, that's this year. That's this event season. But next year we have good news. Well, not we have. I mean,
I was gonna say, still planning on fucking going to Insomnia in 2 months.
I don't like the price of hotels around that time. And if I was gonna go, I would want to go at least about 2 days.
I'm going for the day and fucking coming back on a train, mate.
I don't blame you. Hotels are ridiculously expensive, especially like all the ones around the convention center.
But yeah, so what was it? Inaugurated in 1995, the Electronic Entertainment Expo, or E3, been the biggest gaming event of the year, taking place every year at the convention center in Los Angeles. Normally the place for new gaming announcements, publishers big and small. Yeah, unfortunately forced to cancel 2020 and the COVID, and then last year it was only online, and then this year there's no E3 either. We covered that 2 weeks ago. Pretty much the same thing of online only.
What we know now is that there will be E3 next year, in person and online.
Although it is a year away, 12 months, and a lot of things can happen in 12 months. So
if their plan still goes ahead fine and there is an in-person event, there will still be those online showcases that we have.
Yeah.
Oh, especially, the Xbox and Bethesda one will be a showcase there, and they'll stream it like they have the past few years. But some of the things like Sony haven't been there for a while. They do their State of Play instead, and I think they've got another one, but I can't remember what it's called. Nintendo do their Direct. On their own timeline, basically, just whenever they decide to. So it won't be the same as it was like a couple of years leading up to the pandemic, but it's a start.
Well, fingers crossed it gets back to usual self, because people who are watching on YouTube can actually go and find a very, very, very old, as in it. Me, my cousin, and my friend Pash was listening to it a month ago, and it made all three of us cringe because we're all on it. It was an old E3 podcast from my old clan, Nightmare Gaming, that I technically still own, but it's when we basically tried to go a different route without somebody else, and we told them like, you need to change your name, you need to change your name, and he refused to change his name. It was like, fuck it, then we'll change the name of the whole fucking clan. You can't be part of the clan if you're not Synapse and you're still Nightmare, so get fucked, motherfucker. But yeah, so we changed the name, and but back then it was the Nightmare Gaming Podcast, and it was like the four of us three, and then the guy who refused to change his name when we tried to like get rid of him. Yeah, that was basically all about like E3 and how like the games that were there and how much we were looking forward to things and stuff. Like, this is how old it is. We was playing Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Like, that's what, 7, 8 years ago? Something like that? Like, bruh. But yeah, so I do think that, you know, this, because it's always a celebration with E3 anyway, regardless of like whether you're going for, you know, a particular platform, you know, Nintendo, Xbox, whatever, like, or whether you're just going to see the new games. People always just like, sometimes I as an Xbox kid growing up, I would still watch E3 like Sony thing if it wasn't on at the same time as me doing something or watching like Xbox, which typically they would, you know, differentiate them so that you could watch both. I still watch Sony stuff because I'd be like, I want to see what they're getting so that I know whether I want to potentially get one in the future.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you know, I didn't end up getting one. I got a PC, so now I'm gonna get the best of both worlds. But I don't know how I'm gonna fucking connect this one, but I guess
There isn't really a connection.
yeah. Well, actually, there's one. There's one which I was gonna try and use. Right. Speaking of celebrations, sometimes you have fireworks at celebrations. Boom! There you go. That's as close as you could gonna get.
This is as close as we're gonna get.
So
switch to the tab.
Me being a Valk main, as soon as I seen you put this on the document, I was like, oh, I'm gonna see what this is. I'm gonna see what this is. Because this is my legend. This is my baby. Like, I was using her earlier as well. Like, but yeah. So, anybody who doesn't know, as you saw in the video as it was rolling, or for the podcast platforms, there's a legend in Apex Legends called a Valkyrie, and her tactical is like a small missile swarm, does about 25 damage, and stuns target. And this guy has gone and made a replica of that, but it fires fireworks. So yeah, that could be pretty fucking dangerous considering how close it is to his head. But yeah, there you go.
It could be. I mean, I like the way that he's got it lined up with the control on his arm. In that it's because of the way it's designed, it's never gonna point at his arm. Even if he moves his arm like way up in the sky, it's just gonna point up above his head. Doesn't stop it pointing at his head. Like if he moves his hand across his body, it'll point right at his face. But like he said in the video, just before he actually fired any of them, he only fired them with it on the ground. And he was like, yeah, I think this can stay on the ground for now. But he says in the article, I'd say Mark 1 is complete. It can move and shoot well, but there'll be adjustments eventually for a future model that hopefully you'll be able to wear while firing. With this one, though, because of the force from the fireworks, the motors struggle a lot with it with firing, so you can't fire it while it's, like, mounted.
Yeah, there you go. That's what she looks like.
Yeah, there we go. There's this.
Do you want to... can I... Yeah. But... Boom. That's Valk.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so for anybody who doesn't know the story of Valk, as it says here, her late father's North Star Titan, which players can operate in Titanfall 2. Actually, you don't operate his Titan, but you know, you can in the multiplayer and the Horde mode in Titanfall 2 play as a North Star Titan, which is obviously fairly similar to her father's Titan. Her father is Viper, who you actually fight in the ship to ship combat towards the end of Titanfall 2. I'm not gonna go any further into that in case there's any listeners or viewers that have not played Titanfall 2. But I will say that if that is the case, find a way of buying that shit and play that shit, because it's one of the best fucking campaigns I've ever played. And I've played pretty much every Call of Duty, pretty much every Halo, and pretty much any game that has been told to be a great campaign, I played it. Because up until Call of Duty Ghosts, I did not have online really to play, except when I went around my cousins or something. And then even then it was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So my entire gaming is rooted in whether a project has a great story. So if I tell you something like Destiny's lore in the lore sense is great, I better you better believe that it got story content there that you would enjoy if you are into that kind of thing. If I tell you that it's story content for the season, like last season was very lackluster after a certain point, then you better believe I'm telling the fucking truth. But anyway,
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Destiny's story, because we have a sort of a new get playing sort of trailer thing from the wonderful Maze.
yeah, Amaze is, pardon the pun, but amazing. Dude is stand up, amazing in everything he does. He's, he plays the game whilst freestyling about what he's doing, about things that have happened in the game, whether it's a story thing or something that's happened to him and his fire team. He, does motivational stuff on TikTok and Twitter, tweets out a short self video on from his phone, saying, I believe in you, you're great, telling people who are watching those videos that he had to put in the work to get where he is, and they can put in that work too, and get as far, if not further, than he is, in just as much time and stuff basically just bigging people up, making people believe in themselves. So, amazing. Dude is, his channel's known as the home of vibes because some of the music he plays and listens to and freestyles along to, just a vibe, man. It literally is a vibe. You can just chill there and listen. You know what I mean? He's also known as the hype man because he gets rarely hype when it comes to certain things. So I actually saw this on Twitter after not interacting with him for a while, because obviously my Twitter was more filled with Apex than Destiny stuff because of how long I'd been out of Destiny at that point.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is fucking sick. To see Bungie bringing somebody from the community in that has a great talent like he does for rapping, and having them do a piece of content that promotes the game, which is, Heroes Welcome. It's him welcoming new players to the game, and he's basically saying, here's my story, now tell me yours, basically saying, go and play the game, make your own story within the confounds of the game, and then, you know, when you come into my chat and you say, oh, I got Galahorn today, you know, obviously you get that for a quest now, but you can go, oh, it's so close to like losing against the boss, and then my friend just clutched up. That's a story. Like, that's the thing he's basically saying. Like,
I'm looking at the part from the article here. Is that according to Bungie, this Heroes Welcome campaign is supposed to highlight Destiny 2 player stories and celebrate the varied heroism that uplifts gaming communities and makes being a part of the online social experiences more fun and inclusive. And if that was their aim, they fucking crushed it, because they could not find anyone that fits more in line with that ideal than Amaze.
And here's the thing, like, if this is a whole like campaign and he's just the start of it, then again, they fucking crushed it in opening it and going, look, this is what we're doing. And then making people go, oh shit, Bungie, fuck, I was not expecting that, because you chose one of the most fucking talented people in the community to open like the show, if you will. Do you know what I mean? If they do another one in like a month's time and it's somebody else doing something similar, then I don't know, maybe it's fucking Anubis reading a story from the fucking lore. Ooh. Or alongside fucking My Name is Bife. Like, bro, that shit will be mental. Those two have two of the best voices in fucking Destiny community. I don't care what anybody says. Like, they were in Dynasty together, because Bife plays a warlock and Anubis plays the hunter. And literally, you hear them for the first like 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe of Dynasty, which is on Bife's channel. If you search My Name is Bife and look up Dynasty, like, it's this whole story of the Hive leading into Witch Queen. It's fucking brilliant. Like, honestly, it is movie quality shit from the community. It basically says to Bungie, and obviously Sony, now that Bungie's partnered with Sony, if you're going to make a TV show or a movie out of the Destiny IP, you need to top this.
Yeah, I was like, it's got to be at least this level, because this is something the community can do, you know?
Yeah, like, hell, hire those motherfuckers and get them to do it for you.
Yeah. That's also an option.
Just give them the team and the resources and the money, they'll fucking do it. Trust me. But yeah, so like, can you imagine if next month we had the fucking lore reading from My Name is Bife or Anubis or both? Like, holy shit, that'd be amazing. Then you get like Glad doing some hyperactive shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh my god. Like, if they don't just stop with Amaze and they just introduce multiple people, and you're showing different, like, because Amaze is like African American from descent, I think. He might be, you know, Jamaican or whatever. But anyway, you can see him there. He's a black dude, right? So, for one, big up Bungie for not giving a shit about all the fucking people who are, you know, hating and being racist and all that. Like, one, that's a fucking great thing. Stick to your fucking guns. They keep coming out and saying things about they support, you know, the black creators within the community. They support the like LGBTQIA members of the Destiny community, and that anybody that goes into like those creators' chats and talk shit about those things, in like cusses them down basically for those things, that Bungie, for one, will do everything within their power to fucking strike them motherfuckers. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think if they could legally ban somebody from the game for going into Amaze's chat and calling him like the N-word, for example, they would. So
yeah.
But so, like I say, good on them for sticking to things that they've said. In fact, how long is it again? A minute and a half. Minute and a half.
I was gonna say,
we're gonna fucking play it. Fuck it.
Everybody has a destiny. Everybody starts in green gear. Welcome to Destiny 2. You pick and choose. Got a warlock, a titan, and hunter that's coming through. A solo player picking a classic, go pursue. I even learned a couple plays from streamers you never knew. I started with some guns that were really low to new exotics and some purples with some godly rolls. I've seen the Hive, seen the Beck, seen Cabal. Even the Witness making calls just to see you fall. Nevertheless, you can travel far. Get with your friends, hyperspace, right up in the Mars. One stage, I'm trying to craft a whole glaive in this enclave. Then take shots and use the melee in my own way. My craft come with styles and 1,000 choices. Like I made a last wish with 1,000 voices. Putting Sabbath through the rest while I'm squeezing ghosts. Even the darkness want to scorn if you didn't notice. Gunshots is a fire play. I'm trying to gamble every shot with the ace of spades. Tell your friends come and travel to the social space so we can laugh and grab bounties for a lovely raid. Now that's a fight play. Choose paths, make ways. I believe you can show us what it takes. One shot, one play, one guardian can help you save the day. I remember all the days that I started as a memer, and D2 showed me how to pop it as a streamer. I'm flying through the galaxy with coffee and Supremas. The travel ain't the only one out here who really needs ya. Zavala Akora. I guess they seeing me, opening some doors to me seeing more. This is my story, so tell me yours.
I've got goosebumps again. Like, holy shit. Bro, like, I got goosebumps the first time I watched it. I got goosebumps the fucking 5th time I've watched it. Because that's probably how many times I've watched that. Because I watched, like, the making of it as well. Like, they've got a making of it.
Yeah.
That's literally called Destiny 2 My Story or something. Yeah, there you go. The behind the scenes look. So if you want to like go and watch that,
one is there.
It's amazing. But yeah, like honestly, more power to fucking Bungie. They keep doing shit like this, and this. I had an issue with last season's content. I had issues with last year's content, and I kept saying I might not get Witch Queen. I might not get it. And then I got Witch Queen. I enjoyed the campaign of it. I just didn't enjoy the season that went alongside it, which is obviously the content that's supposed to last you for 3 months.
Yeah.
This season, I am enjoying a bit more. Am I playing less than I used to back when I, was on Xbox? Yes, I'm playing casually. But am I enjoying my time when I hop on? Yeah, which is the main thing. Am I enjoying the story within the game that, is progressed in the season? Yes. So they keep knocking it out the park with things like this and with the seasonal story. I can see this year being very fucking good for them. Going into, is it Lightfall that's next?
I think it is, yeah.
And then it's the final shape blast, isn't it? Yeah. So, I'll be interested to see where the story goes in general. I'll be interested to see whether this like Heroes Welcome campaign has more stars than just a maze.
I hope so. There are so many stories to tell.
Yeah. So even if it is just a maze, when I say only just a maze, I don't mean like only just a maze as in, oh, he's nothing special. He's fucking amazing, as I said. But as you just said, there are so many stories to tell that you can't really have a thing where he's like, where at the end he's like, this is my story, tell me yours, and not like have that lead into somebody else telling their story in an advert type thing similar to this, and then they end the same way he did, is this is my story, tell me yours, and then just have that go as a routine thing going forward with any sort of like ad they have involving any of the creators that are in the Destiny community. Then we have GCX going on right now, like in Florida as well. So, I think Bungie very like often goes to those things. I know Amaze is there. I've seen pictures on Twitter. So there you go. If that's something that people are interested in, like I said, it's called GCX. It's the gaming convention expo or something. I can't remember exactly what the name of it is.
Used to be Guardian Con, didn't it?
Yeah, it used to be Guardian Con, which obviously is where the GC comes from. But obviously they named it something else because there's other games involved now. I think it's Gaming Community Expo, actually.
Sounds
So
about
obviously they kept the GC from Guardian Con, but then added the X for the Expo. Because then, if they ever turn around and go, all right, well, there's no other games coming, it's just Destiny, we can go back to Guardian Con Expo. You know what I mean? Or something like that. Like, or they just
Well,
drop the X and go.
They just go, well, this year's GCX, it's just Destiny.
Yeah, it's Guardian Con. But that being said, we are done for another episode of the Rising Lights podcast. I hope anybody who is listening on the podcast platforms or watching on YouTube enjoyed it. Anybody that's here live, stay tuned because we will be raiding somebody in the near future, like in a couple minutes. Is there anything you want to add on, whatever, before we end up like the actual podcast thing upload?
No, that's
Yeah.
all the topics we've gone through. I'll just have a conversation about some of them. I just hope we've got some more cool stuff to talk about next time.
Okay, so for anybody who is listening, watching elsewhere than Twitch, again, we appreciate you. And the next one will be live in 2 weeks' time, which, as of the date of recording, will be the 25th. So if you want to come and watch live, there'll be a link in the description of the YouTube. And I'm pretty sure Kit puts them in the podcast
Yeah, there'll be links in the
descriptions as well.
descriptions for the podcast.
Just click on the one that says, Intrepidus one if you want to watch it live on the 25th, 8 p.m. For the UK and Central Europe, or just see what time it is in the UK and do the time conversion. That is 3 p.m. Eastern for anybody who is in the US. I'm pretty sure anybody else can do the time conversion. It works out at midday basically for the Pacific coast. And we appreciate you for coming by and giving the podcast a watch or a listen. And we'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much. And bye-bye.